This particular stretch in the NASCAR world stands out as something truly extraordinary and unfamiliar compared to recent times. It bears no resemblance to ordinary conflicts, it isn't another fiery debate over car adjustments, and it certainly won't conclude with one of those thrilling edge-of-your-seat final lap decisions that enthusiasts cherish so deeply. Instead, this represents one of those uncommon periods where you pause, lean back, tilt your head, and utter, "Amazing." This genuinely transforms the whole landscape. At present, two wholly distinct developments are playing out simultaneously, and each one is impacting the discipline with genuine power and lasting outcomes. One narrative centers on a skilled competitor who yearns intensely to return to the steering controls, yet finds himself utterly unable to, regardless of his utmost efforts. The contrasting tale involves a far more stringent circumstance in which NASCAR authorities felt compelled to intervene and establish an uncompromising boundary. What elevates the importance even further is this: each of these accounts will imprint a substantial imprint across the full campaign. They will influence the title pursuits, open fresh possibilities for fellow competitors, and even reshape perspectives on specific participants as the year advances. Therefore, if you are the type of enthusiast who genuinely values the inner workings of NASCAR at this moment, you must absorb every single aspect of this update. And quickly, this is my platform, Fast Lane News. If the content has captured your interest up to now, I would greatly appreciate it if you could smash that thumbs up icon, leave a remark, and pass it along to your fellow NASCAR enthusiasts. Your encouragement truly holds immense value for us and assists the platform in expanding steadily. Now let us plunge straight into the initial account, and truthfully this particular one pains me deeply to discuss as a dedicated longtime admirer. We are referring to Alex Bowman. What started as a seemingly minor issue has escalated into a condition far graver than most anticipated. He is not merely skipping a single event or even a pair. He has now been formally verified to bypass 3 further NASCAR Cup Series contests: Darlington, Martinsville, and Bristol. Allow that information to truly register with you. When you add those forthcoming events to the ones he has previously forfeited, we are examining a competitor who might end up absent for a minimum of 6 complete weeks. 6 full weeks. And here is the element that renders this scenario particularly alarming. This outcome did not arise from a severe collision. It is not a fractured limb or a standard ailment stemming from on-track contact. It stems from vertigo. On initial consideration, vertigo may not appear as the most severe complication, yet if you have ever confronted it yourself or studied it extensively, you recognize precisely how crippling and grave it can become. We are discussing profound spinning sensations, confusion, and a total disruption of equilibrium. There exists absolutely no secure method for any individual to pilot a Cup Series vehicle at maximum velocity while suffering from those effects. Absolutely none. It would pose an extreme hazard. This explains precisely why the approach has shifted towards such careful handling. Hendrick Motorsports has emphasized one undeniable point: they refuse to accelerate Alex Bowman's re-entry into the vehicle under any conditions, and that alone reveals all you require regarding the seriousness of the matter. This has moved beyond attempting to rescue a campaign. This concerns safeguarding the competitor's well-being personally. Because in this relentless discipline, anything short of complete preparedness can result in grave, potentially existence-changing repercussions. With the Easter break weekend approaching immediately following Martinsville, the soonest plausible comeback window for Bowman would fall on the event at Kansas on April 19th. Yet even that timing remains far from assured. Thus, in the most optimistic outlook, he faces an absence from the vehicle lasting well beyond a full month. In actual circumstances, it might extend further, still based on the pace of his healing process. Now let us examine the genuine ramifications, because this is where the effect strikes with true force. At the moment, Alex Bowman occupies the 36th position in the Cup Series rankings, already lagging 94 points short of the playoff threshold. I will speak with total honesty. His prospects of qualifying for the playoffs this season appear exceptionally limited from this vantage. But here lies the crucial nuance: that playoff outlook no longer ranks as the central focus anymore. Not for Hendrick Motorsports, not for his squad, and frankly, not for the supporters who fully grasp what truly matters. This revolves entirely around his wellness, nothing more complex. We have witnessed far too frequently the results when competitors attempt to endure ailments or states they ought not to. In Bowman's instance, vertigo qualifies as one of those challenges where even the faintest remnant could transform re-entering the vehicle into an intolerable gamble. As aggravating as this whole ordeal proves, particularly for a racer in the legendary number 48 machine, a squad holding such lofty title ambitions, you would still prefer to witness him step aside and achieve complete restoration rather than observe him hurry back and risk escalating matters dramatically. But let us face the truth squarely: his vacancy opens an enormous void within the roster. It disrupts the full structure and leaves you sincerely empathizing with the competitor, since you realize inwardly he desires nothing greater than to compete out there every single weekend. Yet just as you absorb one weighty tale, matters pivot toward a wholly fresh and unforeseen direction with the secondary development. This one surprised numerous individuals and for entirely separate causes. On this occasion, it bears no connection whatsoever to wellness or rehabilitation. It concerns repercussions and responsibility. Daniel Dye has received an indefinite ban from NASCAR. Yes, you read that accurately, without any fixed duration. This arises from statements he uttered during a live broadcast while unboxing collectible cards. During that broadcast, he recounted his time spent near IndyCar competitor David Malukas, and employed wording that NASCAR judged as violating a distinct boundary per their guidelines, particularly under Section 4.3c. That specific guideline clearly declares that competitors must refrain from issuing public statements that insult or single out individuals according to ethnicity, sex, faith, or any comparable safeguarded elements. NASCAR examined the matter with great care, and their verdict arrived promptly: an instant indefinite prohibition lacking any established schedule for his comeback. The sole route to rejoining the discipline demands that he finish sensitivity instruction prior to any consideration for readmission, and it did not conclude with NASCAR's judgment. His personal squad, CW Racing, also acted rapidly to bar him as soon as they learned of the occurrence. Thus this extended beyond NASCAR delivering a notice. His squad fully endorsed the choice as well. In a flash, he found himself removed. From a racing perspective, this promptly influences the Truck Series contest at Darlington. The organization is inserting A.J. Allmendinger as the substitute competitor, and that represents a noteworthy figure sliding into the position. Allmendinger presently races on a regular basis in the Cup Series alongside Colleague Racing. Although he has not participated in the Truck Series since 2021 at Watkins Glen, he contributes worthwhile expertise with 14 previous appearances in the division. Introducing an experienced professional like him into that machine could significantly alter the lineup and modify the flow of the event. Regarding Daniel Dye personally, he uploaded a statement of regret on online platforms soon afterward. He confessed that he voiced thoughts without proper reflection, declared that he held no aim to inflict any damage, and recognized a vital reality: purpose does not cancel out the effect of one's expressions. Naturally, enthusiasts will possess quite varied viewpoints concerning the statement of regret and the overall episode. But irrespective of individual sentiments, NASCAR has established an uncompromising boundary and clarified its stance on this category of behavior beyond any doubt. Reviewing his campaign to date, Daniel Dye presently holds the 13th spot in the Truck Series rankings, already trailing 88 points behind the frontrunner Chandler Smith. Since 2023, he has accumulated 49 previous appearances in the division, securing 2 top 5 placements, 10 top 10 placements, and 1 pole award. He has additionally been accumulating worthwhile exposure in the ARCA Menards Series, with intentions for a regular campaign there in 2025 together with Colleague Racing, along with extra appearances this season alongside AM Racing. Put differently, this concerns a youthful competitor still constructing his professional path, and suddenly the entire progression has been halted abruptly. And that captures the true burden of this account. In contrast to the opening scenario, which focuses on restoration and ultimately returning with greater resilience, this one deals solely with responsibility and the outcomes of our statements and deeds. It serves as a powerful notice of how, particularly in the current environment where every instant plays out live, gets captured, and spreads immediately, one brief lapse in judgment can entirely redirect the course of an individual's professional journey. So there you stand, informed, 2 distinctly separate accounts, 2 utterly contrasting explanations. Nevertheless, both are rattling NASCAR in a deep manner during this period. One profoundly touches a prominent Cup Series organization and a competitor who is merely battling to restore his wellness. The other broadcasts a powerful, unmistakable signal across the complete facility regarding conduct, duty, and the expectations demanded from competitors in the contemporary age. As enthusiasts, we now find ourselves observing attentively to discover how both developments progress across the upcoming weeks and months. Will Alex Bowman reappear with complete vitality and reclaim his position? Will Daniel Dye fulfill the necessary actions and secure his pathway back into contention? Those represent the major inquiries that will hover above NASCAR for quite a while. And truthfully, instances such as these are precisely what render this discipline so remarkably gripping and captivating. It never limits itself merely to the competition occurring on the circuit. It also encompasses the personal narratives, the obstacles, and the difficult choices unfolding away from public view. Now I eagerly await your input. What represent your candid reactions to these two markedly dissimilar developments? Do you support the manner in which NASCAR and the organizations have managed them? Be certain to express your views in the comment area underneath. I recognize this subject will ignite some fervent and energetic exchanges, and I anticipate reviewing them with interest.